Alright, so my OC3 had the master pin come loose, and I need to use it for tomorrow. So I had to figure out a way to fix it. I'm just gonna give you some tips if this happens to you and you're out in the woods or you're using it and you notice a pin comes loose. Now, if you don't know much about crawlers, each one of these pins up here, each link has a pin. Let's see if I can show you these pins right here on the tracks. There's one master pin that if you needed to disassemble your tracks, you can take the master pin out, lay the tracks flat, and access your sprockets, whatever you need to do. So the master pin that come loose, you see I got a bolt in it right now. That's all I got. This should have a cotter pin through here. That bolt is going through the hole that the cotter pin should be in for the master pin. This is the master pin. You could tap it out either way, and then you could fold this part of the track down and wrap this over the top. I tried a lot of things to get it to be able to finagle the pin back in. The pin was out almost as far. I mean, it was just in there by a hair. And if it would have come out, then the tracks would have fallen off while I was driving it. I guess you could, you could loosen your idler to give your tracks more slack, but I don't have the tools for that right now. So I had to try a different way. And what I found was, through a lot of trial and error tonight, is that if you get your master pin about the 2 o'clock position on the rear sprocket, or on the sprocket, and leave it off. I tried it on the idler. It would not work on the idler at all. When I could not move or have any manipulation of the plates really on the idler for some reason. But if I put it at the 2 o'clock position on the sprocket, and I use my blade to kind of hold the crawler from sliding forward as I moved it, I had a pry bar, and I could put the pry bar right in here. Now, you shouldn't ever really put your fingers in between there, because if anything moves, that can snip your finger right off. But I put the pry bar right in here, and I was able to wedge it enough that the plate would flex, and the pin could be tapped in through to the other side. See if I can get a view of the other side. I don't think you'll probably be able to see it, but take a look here. Yeah, you can't really see in there very good, but it looks the same on that side. So if you were standing behind the OC3, like I said, I put the pry bar right in here, and before it was set like this at an angle where you had maybe double that space that's there now, and this was pinched right up tight. But I drove my pry bar in there, and believe it or not, right now there's not a lot of, when you got that set right at that 2 o'clock position, there's not a lot of tension on your tracks there. So I wedged it, and I had somebody else come out with a punch and a hammer, and they were able to tap the pin through. Now, you might be wondering why I got a bolt in there. I have not tested this yet. I think it's going to just shear the bolt off. But it's the only thing I've got right now to get me out of this until I can get a good cotter pin. The other side, you can see the cotter pin. Let me take you to the other side, show you what it's supposed to have. And where I live, there's no stores open or anything that I could even go to right now if I wanted to, because everything shuts down at real early. But you can see here, this is the master pin on this side, and it's got this nice little cotter pin in there. I mean, you could have something better than that, but that's just what I had on it when I got it. Somehow the cotter pin come out on the other side, or broke, and then it started wiggling loose. I didn't see it. So I hope, if you have this problem with your master pin coming loose, or if your tracks ever fell off if you could fold the tracks back up on and get them set to where that master pin was at the, on this it would be the 10 o'clock position on the right hand side sprocket. See, I got to get the sprocket off next year. You can see how worn that is. I found a sprocket that's actually new old stock sprocket that I can put on this, but I'll know to put it at the 10 o'clock and be able to tap the pin out, fold the track this way, fold the last piece on that side, jack the crawler up, and then be able to get in to remove this and get at the sprocket. But if you ever have a problem with your master pin, hopefully this video give you an idea, a place to start. Like I said, I tried just about everything. I tried hooking a chain onto the near the master pin. You got this access hole here. I tried putting a chain on that and running the chain around a tree and backing up real slow and putting tension on it to manipulate that. That didn't work. I've tried. I had the master pin set here halfway through. That didn't work. I had the master pin set at various places on the idler. That didn't work. The only place that I could get it to work was trial and error, getting it back there to the 10 o'clock on the right hand side or 2 o'clock on the left hand side sprocket. So hope this was a help to you, and keep these old OC3s running. They're very useful little crawlers.